Have you ever faced a difficult conversation that left you feeling uneasy or unsure of what to say? Maybe it was a disagreement with a friend, a challenging discussion with a partner, or a tough conversation at work. These moments can feel uncomfortable, but avoiding them only creates more stress. The real power lies in handling them with grace, confidence, and emotional intelligence. In today's video, I'll share practical strategies to help you navigate difficult conversations with calmness and clarity. Whether you want to improve your communication, avoid unnecessary conflict, or strengthen relationships, these tips will help. But before we dive in, welcome back to Be Feminine, where we focus on confidence, elegance, and emotional intelligence. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Now, let's get started. The first step to handling difficult conversations gracefully is preparing your mindset. Before speaking, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, what outcome am I hoping for? Is my goal to understand, find a solution, or simply express myself? Entering a conversation with a clear intention helps prevent misunderstandings and keeps the discussion focused. Managing emotions is also key. If we enter a conversation feeling defensive, frustrated, or anxious, it affects the way we communicate. Before speaking, take a deep breath, pause, and remind yourself that staying calm leads to better results. Approaching a conversation with a composed mindset creates a more productive and respectful exchange. Another important factor is choosing the right time and place. Timing matters. Bringing up serious topics when emotions are already high may lead to tension. If the other person seems distracted, stressed, or busy, consider waiting or scheduling a time to talk. Simply saying, "I'd love to have a meaningful conversation when we both have time to focus," sets a positive tone from the start. Now, let's talk about communication. One of the most effective ways to keep a conversation respectful and open is to use I statements instead of you statements. For example, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," try saying, "I feel unheard when we talk." This small shift in wording helps reduce defensiveness and promotes understanding. Active listening is just as important as speaking. Many people listen just to reply, but the key is to listen to understand. Allow the other person to share their perspective without interrupting. Show that you're engaged, nod, maintain eye contact, and acknowledge their words. A simple response like, "I see what you mean," or "That makes sense," can go a long way in keeping the conversation respectful. One of the most valuable skills in handling difficult conversations is maintaining emotional control. If the other person becomes emotional or raises their voice, avoid mirroring that energy. Staying calm and composed encourages a more constructive discussion. If you ever feel overwhelmed, it's okay to pause and say, "Let's take a moment and come back to this when we're both feeling calmer." Taking a step back can prevent unnecessary escalation. Another strategy to keep conversations productive is asking questions instead of making assumptions. If something feels unclear or upsetting, instead of reacting immediately, ask, "Can you help me understand what you mean?" This opens the conversation and shows you're willing to listen, which often leads to better outcomes. Of course, not all conversations will be easy, and some may involve conflict. But conflict doesn't have to be negative, it can actually strengthen relationships when handled correctly. If tensions rise, take a breath before responding. Acknowledge the other person's feelings by saying, "I understand where you're coming from," to show that you're listening. Then, focus on solutions rather than the problem. A great question to ask is, "How can we move forward from here?" And this keeps the conversation future-focused rather than dwelling on past frustrations. As you approach the end of a conversation, try to close on a positive note. Even if you don't fully agree, summarizing the discussion ensures clarity. You can say, "So what I'm hearing is that we both want to feel more understood in our conversations." Expressing appreciation is also important. A simple, I appreciate you taking the time to talk, can strengthen relationships and encourage open communication in the future. Difficult conversations don't have to be stressful. When approached with the right mindset, thoughtful communication, and emotional intelligence, they can lead to greater understanding and stronger relationships. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's a conversation that challenged you, and how did you handle it? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Be Feminine for more confidence and communication tips.